Welcome to Half Past Broke, where the dreams are big and the wallets are smaller. I'm your host Walker with
I'm Eric. I guess I'm also your host. So thank you for that horrible introduction, Walker. I genuinely appreciate it.
You're
Um,
also the host, and I'm
I- well,
also the host.
you know what? You should have said hi. I'm your co-host because I'm also a co-host.
Okay,
You know what?
fine.
Irrelevant. Irrelevant. I don't want to talk about it. I'm offended. We're gonna be doing a couple tests tonight as far as the speed of our internet. So I'm actually gonna bring up. We're both gonna go on speedtest.net right now,
Okay.
and we're gonna hit go, and we're going to tell you the speeds of our internet. But while it's all processing, big question. Walker, what are you drinking?
I tonight decided to go a little special and have a whiskey sour as opposed to my normal beers.
What kind of whiskey do you use?
I was using like a small brewer whiskey. I for the life of me can't remember the name of it. I was looking at it earlier, but it's not your typical whiskey. It came right out of like a micro distillery in Texas or
So it's not.
in Kentucky.
It ain't no Canadian mist.
Yeah, we got some of that moose antler mist.
Oh god, it's not out of a plastic bottle.
No, it's out of a nice bottle. It had a cork in it and everything.
Wow, that's a really now.
Yeah. So what do you got?
I am because your boy's getting a little hefty, so I decided I needed to lose a little weight. So I'm trying to not completely cut the beer out, but if I'm sitting and casually sipping, I don't really want to be putting on all the all those calories from beer. So I'm drinking uh Stoli blueberry and seltzer right now. So I'm really trying to cut the calories out. That's blueberry vodka. It's delicious.
Okay, and did you end up buying club soda and seltzer at the same time? I remember we
Yeah,
talked about it
I
earlier.
did. Ask me towards the end. I'll run to my fridge and get the club soda because I have the seltzer right here. And seltzer is literally only ingredient is carbonated water.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. All right, so diving right into our results of our speed test. What do you got, Eric?
I have for my download, I have 72.96 down and 5.91 up. What about you?
I have 117 down and I have 11.7 up.
Oof, you got that big boy stuff. Now,
Yeah.
do you pay for like the high end like the gaming internet, or do you it's like how many steps above super basic is it?
I really don't honestly, because I use Spectrum, and the internet that I used was just the basic whatever came in the bundle, and it came out really well. Like I didn't ask for a whole
That's really
lot.
good.
What I
That's
did,
really
though, I do gotta say, what I did do was I looked into having it so it could stream multiple forums, so like my wife could watch
okay.
TV and stuff
Yeah.
like that while I'm playing video games and whatnot.
Yeah, because the reason we're doing the speed test right now is because of I'm sure if you're into gaming or tech at all, I'm sure you've heard of the new Google Stadia, their cloud video game streaming. And what did they recommend, Walker? 50 megabytes download?
According to Ars Technica, and the link will be in the description. While the company set a threshold at 25 megabytes per second for its beta testing last year, Harris told that, in fact, we only use an average of 20 megabytes per second. So what that means is
Oh
Google.
wow, I thought it was a lot higher.
Oh no! It's when Google is running Stadia when you're streaming it, and we'll get into more of that later. When this is running, it's running it at optimal 4K, 60 frames per second at like that 20 to 30 megabyte range.
Wow, that's actually really sick because I went out of my way. I think I only got one bump up from the basic internet in order to get, it's the 60 down, 6 up, or 5 up or whatever.
Yeah,
So that's not far off the basic package. So I was under the impression that you were going to need some like big boy internet to stream the Stadia shit.
yeah, and not and I'm sure you've watched the video as well, the sample video that on the Stadia website. They talk about cutting edge graphics. It's gonna look beautiful. Play it anywhere, stuff like that. These big computers that people buy for their personal PC gaming and the systems and everything have like all these crazy stuff and all that. Google really only requires you to have just a decent internet connection. How some coffee shops have 20 to 35 to 30 megabytes per second download
And
speed.
that's why I think obviously Stadia is going to be revolutionary because you're going to have all these games. You're going to be able to play all these, next gen games, but you're not going to have to spend 500, 1,000, even 2,000 on a PC to be able to play it.
Exactly. You could
I
use
just
your
spent.
20-year-old laptop to run this.
Oh, see, I think when it gets to something like that old and that like outdated, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna, but like
Yeah.
I have a feeling like your normal like HP Pavilion's gonna be able to like run Red Dead 2 in 4K or something like that. It all just depends on your internet, it seems.
Yeah. And what the other one of the other things I was looking at as far as that goes is the whole concept of cloud gaming actually did not originate with Google. For those who have like a PlayStation, actually there is a service offered called PlayStation Now, which is also a cloud gaming concept. So this has been practiced before, so we know it's available. There is a basis to go off of, and
Uh,
that's all I'll talk about that for now. But I
well,
just wanted to go ahead.
I do want to add something on that. I think the huge difference between the PS Now and the Stadia is that on PS Now you could only stream from your console, your PlayStation,
Yeah,
or your PC. With a Stadia and shit, you're gonna be able to play all these games, all these like next gen games on your phone, on a tablet, on a potato computer.
yeah.
So it's really gonna open up the world.
The sheer lack of forums is what I think what holds the PlayStation Now back.
Yeah,
And with the
and
Stadia, I mean, like they were saying that you can play it on a Chromecast. Those little things that you stick to your TV to make it a smart TV.
that's oh yeah, because then you can just plug you can like run a controller to it. I think you run it through smart TVs and stuff. You can just plug a controller into it and
Yep.
just you can play from like anything. It's anything that has an internet connection that can get Google Chrome, I think they said.
I will say, as of right now, none of my research has showed me how much these controllers cost. I don't know if by the time
Yeah.
anyone sees this video, it's gonna come out. But as of March 23rd, I have not found a single thing about the Google
I,
Stadia controller.
I think they're still in prototype mode because even when people were doing beta testing for it, they said they didn't have access to
Yeah, I mean,
the Stadia controller.
I've seen the concept pictures. It looks a little bit like an Xbox and a
Yeah.
PC picture combined. But a lot of people, and I read a couple things from beta testers, and they were all saying that they used like almost just like a rough controller to do these
Yeah.
these tests. And the tests themselves were actually used on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Doom Eternal, which was a pretty heavy, so to speak, FPS. Like you're going to get a lot of enemies moving at you at one time. There's going to be a lot going on the screen, so a lot of these beta testers that have already had access to it are saying that there is very little to no lag in their gaming.
Yeah, I actually saw one person say one person said that if you didn't show him that he was playing on a Stadia, he would just think it was console or something because it was smooth. And then I read somewhere else that um, somebody did notice that in more graphically intense like cutscenes and situations, and it was either one of the two launch games, Assassin's Creed or Doom, that when it got really graphically intense, it didn't. There was no latency issues, but they did notice the graphics got a little like blocky and foggy, and I think in their beta that was kind of their way of like they would just downgrade the graphics just to keep pushing through with the same good lack of latency.
Which is, it's funny that you bring that up because YouTube almost does the same thing. It does that smart um, resolution where it'll fix your resolution based on like how much lag you're receiving during a
I think
video.
I think Netflix does that too.
Does it? I've never. I'm not a huge user of Netflix. I'll be honest, so I'm not 100% on that. So
But
I'll
yeah,
take your word for that.
sometimes it just gets like blurry for like 5 seconds and then goes back.
I did. I am actually. While we were talking about YouTube, YouTube is going to be a big replacer of Twitch because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube still has a streaming service for
Yeah,
people playing like if you want to watch people playing on in a stream like a Twitch stream. YouTube is almost kind of replacing that for Stadia because it's going to be solely through YouTube. Can you stream? Is
they
what
did
is the
say
concept that they're kind of showing to me.
in a lot of the reports they did say that that Stadia is going to cater to gamers as well as content creators. So I'm really interested to see where that goes.
Ooh, if they have
As far
a creators kit like with Steam.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just saw that it's going to be geared towards people who like games, people who like to watch games, and people who like to create content.
Yeah, so it's coming out for everybody. I mean, I can't. Like, it's appealing to every market out there, which is
It really
amazing.
is. It really is everyone.
Because with PlayStation Now, it was really only catering to like people who play PlayStation games. I mean, not exactly exclusive always, because there's 750 titles, but
Yeah,
it's still like it would kind of cater to those specific demographics.
and the big thing about PS Now was okay. So you had to buy a PS4. So what's that? $300 right there.
Uh,
400. I don't know.
I saw a bunch of different prices. You can buy them used, refurbished, whatever. It's still ranging somewhere between $250 and $500 depending on what you get.
Okay, so but then you have to pay monthly for the internet, correct? On the PS4?
For you
For
have to pay for, as far as I'm aware, you have to pay for PS Plus to do just about anything on there
okay.
nowadays. And I don't know if PlayStation Now is included in that,
I don't
but
think it is.
so like on top of your PlayStation Plus subscription, you're paying 19.99 a month or 99.99 a year on
Hmm.
$20 and $100 to have this like streaming this cloud gaming service.
Plus the initial investment of the PlayStation, which is awesome because what Stadia is looking to do is like cool. You already have a generally functional computer.
Something with a screen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Here you have something that can access Google Chrome. Pff, go for it. Go play some AAA titles.
Exactly. And we don't even know if it's Chrome specific. I mean, you could.
I think it is Chrome specific. I think I read that somewhere that you have to have access to Chrome.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that if it was going to go through like a separate launcher or if it was
No,
going to go through a Chrome
I,
launcher,
I think it's just going right through Chrome.
which is kind of cool, like having everything in one spot. Like I know when I use my YouTube accounts and when I use like my email and everything, I enjoy the fact that I can just hop right on and switch between users and click on email, YouTube, blah 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 blah. Like it's actually really great. I love using Chrome for that.
Speaking of YouTube accounts, definitely go sub to this channel if you're enjoying the content. It's half past broke entertainment at gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Shameless plug over.
And next shameless plug, there is a Microsoft cloud gaming service in the works right now. And now I didn't find nearly as much information about this as I did for Stadia and PlayStation Now. And I believe you found most of the content. So if you want to take it from here.
Yeah, yeah. So, because initially when we're talking about this, I was getting game streaming a little mixed up with cloud gaming because with Xbox you can cast your Xbox gameplay to your Windows 10. That's just like all built-in stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but then Walker was like, "No, you dumb fuck! It's streaming. It's not casting. Like it's cloud gaming. You know, we're gaming from a cloud." So I looked more into it, and in the upcoming years, unfortunately, they're working on a project called xCloud, which is gonna be basically like Stadia, like PS Now, but for Xbox. What did they say? Setting its full release date for 2020 or prior. Um,
So we're looking at within like the next year, because generally like the first quarter of the beginning of the year is when like big things drop. or at least like
Probably.
definite dates do.
It seems like it's going to drop around the time of the next gen console for Xbox. What is it? The Xbox Scarlet, I think it's called.
The
That's going to be their next gen console.
the console or the discless console.
No, I think that's coming out soon. I think they're coming out with a full new.
Oh, there's a whole new generation. Just like
Yeah,
like I've heard rumors of the PS5 kind of being like
yeah,
the be all end all of PlayStation 2
yeah. That's
as well, I should say.
yeah. I think that's what Xbox Scarlet is going to be. So I'm probably around that time is when it's gonna drop the XCloud. They did say that they're gonna try to get um public trials beta in 2019. So this year we could be seeing some of that for Xbox.
Interesting. I mean, and so basically, cloud gaming is just like the logical next step in gaming in
Yeah,
general,
yeah,
not just
it's
not
the
just
next.
Google Stadia, not just PlayStation Now. Like every single company is kind of making that next step. I mean, Nintendo will be like 5 years from now, but
Yeah, and there's gonna be 4 games. 3 of them are
yeah.
gonna be Mario, and one's gonna be Smash. No, I love Super Smash Brothers. Though I can't even talk shit.
Yeah, I won't talk down to Nintendo. They're just always kind of behind when it comes to cutting edge, but they don't need to keep up. They're Nintendo.
Oh my God! Speaking of little off topic here, I went to a smaller convention today, like a gaming anime convention.
Hmm.
Um, and they always have like game rooms and stuff. And that's usually where I hang out. I'll go check the panels and stuff. Most part, I'll hang out in the game room.
Yeah.
So this was this place's first year doing it, and it was really small, a little very unorganized. So usually they have tabletop gaming in one room, and then gaming like video games in another.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to get a whole bunch of consoles for this, so they had one Nintendo Switch, and the rest were tabletop games, which is sick. I was having a blast. I was playing this tabletop game called Munchkin. Irrelevant, doesn't matter. The problem was,
Linked in the comments.
yeah, they there were just like these people playing Super Smash Brothers, like shrieking at the top of their fucking lungs. I'm trying to play a nice game, like a nice board game here with my girlfriend and her friend, and these people are just shrieking at the top of their lungs. I'm like, come on, dude. And that's the end of my story. Just complaining about fucking con goers. But yeah,
there is a certain etiquette to going to cons, especially like when there's so much like cool toys to play with. Like
yeah,
you gotta show a modicum of restraint.
yeah. I just feel like people under the age of 20 just like go to a con and see it as like a fucking free for all. Like do whatever the fuck you want.
It's like pre-adult Chuck E. Cheese. Like you're not quite an adult, so
Yeah, but we'll get in that. We'll talk about cons in
yeah,
another episode.
that's another thing entirely. So uh, I I don't know if you found anything in your research. I kind of looked everywhere and I couldn't really find a whole lot of like prices. So I'm thinking like I'm wondering just to myself whether or not Google Stadia will compete with PlayStation Now's prices, or for maybe it'll just have like an all-in-one thing, like it's gonna have like YouTube Plus and stuff like that, like how Amazon has like Amazon Prime plus
Prime, yeah, all that
video and stuff
shit.
like that. I'm wondering if Google might be doing the same thing. It almost
Yeah,
seems like that's the direction they're going in.
we're it's all speculation from here. You have no fucking idea what they're gonna do,
Yeah,
especially because, like you said, you don't know what they're gonna bundle in with it. I have a feeling it's gonna be
I'm just observing
um
like what they have out that's charged. Like they have a bunch of different like the YouTube Red is the first one that comes to mind. I know there's a couple others,
yeah
but YouTube Red is the first one that comes to mind. I'm wondering if maybe they'll bundle that with this Stadia thing because
yeah, that's it's probably something like that. But I have a feeling it's gonna be a significant amount. It's gonna cost a significant amount more than like PS Now is. Like you said, that's PS Now is 19.99 a month or $100 for the year.
mhm.
But I have a feeling that Stadia is going to be probably more than double that, if not more, because you don't have the initial investment of the console. You don't have the PlayStation Plus that you're paying for on top of that. You don't know what they're gonna bundle with Stadia. You don't know how many titles they're gonna have access to. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be pretty expensive. Which
I guess my only counterpoint to that is Google has always been kind of like a for the people thing. Like they've always been kind of more like we want everyone to have access to our stuff.
so
So
we can take their information and sell it.
yeah, well they're making money somehow. So that's my only thought is if they were to like release this, I mean they could easily make it like a cheaper service, you know, like even $20 a year or $20 a
Oh,
month.
20 bucks a year.
Yeah, $20 a
No,
year. No, $20 a
yeah.
month is like I mean it's still reasonable. I mean you're playing like as many games as they have, unlimited. So like you could play hours and hours and not get charged a dime more. Or
I,
it like so like I'm just saying like it has the potential to be cheaper just because the way Google does their products.
yeah, I see where you're coming from. If I had to guess, I'd say $40 a month,
My,
roughly, maybe.
yeah,
But like I
I
said, you
mean
don't know what they're gonna bundle with it. So, but let's do some math here because you say it like we said before. Oh, a big thing is it takes the initial investment. You don't got to buy a $2,000 computer. I just spent $500 on a graphics card just to be able to play some modern games.
okay, yeah. So
Um,
yeah, so if do you have the calculator up? You got everything to go.
let me bust this out real quick. Smashcalculator.com. That's not a website, by the way. I don't think it is.
It might be a porn site.
Oh god.
um,
I don't want to go on that point. So, oh my god, I should typed in calculator.com. Okay.
so if
So
but my because before we start doing any of these calculations, my breakdown would be how much would you have to spend on Google Stadia for how long to make it to if you were to just save that money and buy a cutting edge PC, which is according to Newegg, you could buy a $1,500 PC and it will play all the new stuff and it'll stay relevant for quite a
you could
couple
buy
of years.
$500 right now. You can buy a $500 PC and play everything,
I'm
but it's
I'm
not gonna it's not gonna stay relevant.
That's
It's
what I
not
mean.
for the future.
I'm going cutting edge. Like
Yeah.
1,500 is probably like the bar minimum you want to get like the most advanced, the most cutting edge thing you could possibly get. So let's go with 1,500. How many years, how many months would you have to subscribe to? Let's go with the PlayStation's price for now. Huh.
Damn, you're a dreamer, dude. There's no chance it can be $20.
I know.
Think about that.
I'm just
Oh
saying
my
for
god.
I'm
All
just
right.
saying for now. Let's go with the PlayStation price because that's the only price we really have to go off of.
Okay, so 20 times 12 would be 240 for the right.
240
20
for the year. If you divide
240 for
that
the
by
year.
1,500,
Is that how it goes?
yeah.
Divided by 1,500.
Yep. No, 1,500 divided by 240.
Oh my god. 1,500 divided by 6.25.
All right, so you're looking at 6.25 years, 6 years and 3 months in order to get to that point. Now, you could do that, save all that money, get that $1,500 computer, and 5, 6, 7 years from now, you're gonna start noticing it's not gonna keep up with as much.
Yes, yeah, you're gonna have to buy another graphics card.
Exactly. So that's another $1,500. I mean, like,
That's why I'm thinking if all right, so if it's $20 a month, that is the most outrageously worth it thing ever. Because then you got to
even if it was
factor in.
$40 a month, let's do the $40 a month thing. Let's go on
Well,
your. Let's
just
go on the higher end. Your
it's,
prediction.
it's just gonna be double that. It's just gonna be
12 years
yeah.
or 3 years.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no. It'll take 3 years. It'll be 3 years and like some change, like a month and a half.
Which still,
Like,
if you're serious about staying on top of your gear, you're gonna upgrade your graphics card every 3 years, which let's just say is $500.
yeah.
It's if it's for I don't know, it's gonna be sick. Plus, you gotta think of all the $60 games that are gonna come out that
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna
Not
get,
to mention all the games you would have to spend. Like, say
and
you
all the other
play.
updates and shit. I don't know if all the DLCs come with it, but I know they did say with Stadia, there's no updating. Everything's gonna stay 100% current, so you're not gonna have to
As
update
long as
games.
it's not EA games.
Well, that's I don't know. I guess DLCs. I actually don't know how that's gonna work with DLCs, but updates like patches and shit like that, everything comes updated it updates on their servers,
Well,
not on your computer.
from that perspective, I could see DLCs being included if you were paying monthly because it's gonna give you the games are included. So like I'm assuming all the DLC would just kind of be on it because Google's gonna update their servers with the DLC, so it's gonna be available to anyone else who's accessing those servers.
Yeah, I mean it's so early. We're really gonna just have to wait
Yeah,
and see.
and yeah, like disclaimer, this is all speculation at this
Yeah,
point.
I
Like
don't know.
we
I don't
pulled
know what the fuck I'm talking about.
we pulled from like 20 different sources to find like the information that we had, and most of the rest of it was speculation.
Yeah, we're just
All the resources we found will be posted in the description. And
yeah, like most people, like we don't have access to beta testing. We're actually, I'm gonna see what I can do to get in on the beta testing if there's anything I can do.
yeah, we're working towards that right now. If you want to get more information about Google Stadia as it comes out, visit the store.google.com/magazine/Stadia, which will be posted in the comments below, and we will be able to maybe post in a couple months if something more comes out. If not, there's stuff there for you. I'm sure Google will keep you posted on how Stadia is going to work. It's got a bunch of information on there right now. Most of it's not clickable, but it does have the information there, and it offers you to post in your email in order to keep getting news and offers and whatnot through Google Stadia.
Walker, you know what I'm a little upset about?
What's that?
I'm a little upset about the fact that I was under the impression this was going to be, a comedy podcast, and I feel like we're too goddamn informative.
Too informative.
I think we got to tone back the information and dial up the amount of beers that are being drank.
Dial up. Well, it's a little too early in the night. It's about 10 o'clock right now, and Eastern Standard Time, and we no, I'm just not really as drunk as I should be yet. Though I will say that we are putting our foot forward on that one. We did notice that there was a little bit less comedy in our stuff.
Oh my god, when we did our stream, it got
then that's what I'm getting into. If you're looking for all out belly laughing, go to our streams. It's half past broke on Twitch.
We were just like a half hour into it, we're both just hammered,
yelling at each other about whether or not scotch scotch can be used for an Irish car bomb. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, if you're looking for more comedy plus the information that we post on our YouTube channel, there you go. We might eventually down the road post our streams on YouTube, but as of right now, we're gonna keep it informative. You got anything?
Maybe all right. So I'm thinking maybe like a 3-drink minimum to start the podcast next time.
Yeah, I know.
It's a safe number.
I will say I was about 3 drinks in, but it was beer, and I had just eaten a foot-long sub with about a half a pound of meat on it, so there was not a whole lot of wiggle room for getting drunk at that point.
That'll do it. But I mean, what else do we got for today?
I didn't really have anything else besides that. We were going to talk a little bit about teraflops, but I think that's still a little bit over both of our heads. So
I don't know what the fuck a teraflop is. I mean, I know the like. I googled it. I know the definition.
I'm familiar with the literal definition and like how it has to do with processing information and a certain speed. But that's a very, very long, like thesis-driven explanation on what a teraflop is. If someone out there can simplify it a little bit better. Great. Eric, tell us what the literal definition is of it.
Let's go. All right. This is straight off, I don't know where, Google. Teraflops is a unit of measurement used for measuring the computing performance of a processor's floating point unit. I don't know what a floating point unit is. It is equal to 1,000 gigaflops, or
10 to the 12th power.
Yeah.
Which is 10 to the 12th power flop, which is floating point operations per second, which is what flop means. And I guess like the computing is equal to like 1 million, which is 10 to the 12th power.
Sure.
So, and that's all we got out of that. Like,
yeah, that's it.
I'm familiar. I think I thought I was pretty good with computers until I tried to dive into teraflops, and now I'm kind of lost. So,
are you a computer science major?
I am not as good as that. I'm a IT major. And
cool. Yeah, but still, that's a step in the right direction. I'm a fucking Nothing.
Well,
Right?
I've always wanted to do more animation. This is just the more practical side of my major. I'm also doing animation on the side, so expect that. That's
I
more
dig it.
that's more up my alley. I just like the idea of being IT because it's actually a paying job. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's really it. I mean, I did just want to say that Stadia is probably the only thing I would ever use Google Chrome for because I don't generally like Google. I don't like Chrome. I don't like the Google search engine. Um,
it's
but
so
with Stadia looking as promising as it is, I probably will get Stadia.
exactly, yeah. Once Stadia drops, I mean, like our streams will be straight through YouTube, so everyone will get it right as it comes and stuff like that. Like Stadia is going to be a great investment for stream gamers out there and
Do do
people
we
who
have
are
a?
like testing out like beta testing. Like beta testing will change so much with this whole streaming process.
I'm looking up right now. Do we have a general timeline of when it's gonna be released?
As of right now, I saw something about later 2019, but uh there's not a lot to it. It a lot of these articles that I was looking at dropped like last week.
Oh yeah, like
So
well, because Stadia just dropped last week.
well, that's what I mean. Like, the beta testers have known about it for a while, but like the beta testers were just given like the green light to give a report on it last week. Google just dropped information about Stadia last week, so we're not looking at a whole lot. And when I say last week, I mean the second week of March 2019.
Okay,
So
hold on. I do have Google Stadia release date. We don't have an exact launch date for Stadia as of yet. However, Google has promised it will launch in the US, UK, Canada, and most of Europe later this year. So this is actually happening sooner than I was anticipating. And we'll
yeah,
be
so maybe we'll
getting.
have more information about it in the nearer future than we thought.
Yeah, it says they'll be giving more details in the summer. So that's what we got to look forward to. And I'm pretty psyched. I think it's gonna be it's the future of gaming, cloud gaming. It's gonna open up a whole gaming universe to people who would otherwise not be able to it. Now people don't really have an excuse to not be a PC gamer. I think consoles are a thing that I don't know. I play Skate 3 on console because it's only available there, except for emulators.
Yeah, and if
I just
and
and console exclusives
and if
like The Last of Us.
yeah, and just to wrap this all up because I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent about this thing.
I
Eric,
can't be stopped.
Eric, let's talk about what we're doing next week. Next week we're
Oh,
gonna
what are we doing next week?
we are going to be integrating AI and beer. So
Oh, it's
all
that
the
shit.
stuff we talked about with beer and all the stuff we talked about computers is gonna marry in our next episode.
That's cool.
So tune
Oh,
in.
now wait, are we definitely doing it next episode? Like 100%?
100% next episode
Okay.
is gonna
'Cause
do it.
now we've committed. We brought it up in the podcast.
Hey,
We're gonna have to.
I've already got some sources and everything ready to go. So I
All
mean,
right,
we can
cool.
start we can start
Yeah.
recording and drop the video as soon as tomorrow. But we're not
Oh
gonna
my
do that
god.
because I don't want to do
So,
that.
but that's pretty cool. So we're gonna basically be integrating technology into alcohol and what is it like? How it changes over time or something like that?
We'll get into that later on. I
All right.
don't want to reveal too much. So tune into us next week, and you'll hear a little bit more about beer and AI, which is the best combination a nerd could possibly ask for. And
You're not wrong.
thank you for tuning in to us. As I've said, I'm Walker.
I am Eric, and thank you very much. And I'll catch all you guys later.
Bye bye.